Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well and I hope that you have a magnificent day. I am here to do an intuitive card reading to see what insights, guidance, and messages the universe wants to share with us, especially in regards to, fear popping up, running rampant, having doubt, insecurity, uncertainty, worry, stress, unsure of which way to go and how sometimes it feels like the walls are closing in and like it's all becoming too much. But the universe, it'll guide us through. So let's see what messages it wants to share with us today. Okay, so the first thing the universe wants us to know is full moon in Aries, cool your emotions. Yeah. This is so often our emotions can get swept up in the turbulent storm of all the drama and chaos, and our emotions can reach a boiling point and temperatures are getting heated and it can lead to emotionally volatile explosions. And we all have been there before when our emotions got so heated that in the heat of the moment we say and do things we regret. And it's like you look back later, you're like, I shouldn't have done that. I wish I hadn't. And that's why the universe is like, hey, cool it. Take a chill pill. Breathe. Process. Work through things. Don't jump right in the heat of your emotions. And that's what I've been working on. I feel like compared to my family, I've always been more of the calm, collected, chill one that's thinking things through before blindly reacting. My family very much is getting wrapped up in their emotions and blindly reacting, getting all triggered and just exploding and not really, and then not taking accountability. It's a whole thing. Not trying to say that I'm better, but I've noticed just in comparison between myself and my family, and be careful with comparison because it's very much can be the thief of joy and rob you of your peace and your happiness. But just the contrast between the path my family chooses to walk and the path that I choose to walk, and how I try to take the chill pill, I try to process and feel my emotions before, coming to a decision while I'm in the heat of the moment and having emotions go to a boiling point. And I've just noticed that I tend to be a lot happier than my family, and there aren't all those negative consequences, Like, that's one thing that I've mentioned it before, but that toxic group of the narcissists that I escaped from last year, like, they pushed me too far. Like, I would have gone scorched earth on them, and I was very tempted to, and people were telling me to, but I'm just like, wait. Let me pause. Let me breathe. Let me process. What is it that I actually want to do? Because we can get very much in that self-righteous anger, and it can be so justified. It's like, no, they've wronged me. They need to reap what they've sown, this, that, and the other, and, kind of dish out justice. And on the one side, since we're human, I very much understand that. It can feel like you can feel very justified. But is that the kind of person you want to be? And I had to sit with that. That's why I didn't, rush to make decisions, even though that group kept trying to pressure me. He's like, no, you need to respond now. Where are you? Why are you being silent? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. And so, like, I literally would just, like, log off from all of their nonsense, and I'd sit and I'd process and be like, okay, so how is it that I feel? What is it that happened? What was wrong about the situation? What part did I have to play in it? And what part was their part to play in it? And what do I want to do about it? And so, after taking the time to cool and let my, emotions chill out, I was able to think much more calmly, much more reasonably, much more rationally, and come from this calm, peaceful, level-headed, collected place, and I could proceed forward. And that way I knew I was putting my best foot forward, and I wasn't, making the situation worse, because I didn't want that. Even though it was very justified to, go scorched earth on them, because they're very much playing with fire. I'm a double fire sign, and it's just like, listen, I'm very calm, I'm very loving, like, I'm laid back, like, I'm kind, I'm understanding. But when you play with fire, guys, like, you're gonna get burned. Fire can be like the giver of life. Think about the sun, but it can also burn you. So you best be careful and know what you're dealing with. But yeah, I didn't want to be petty and sink to their level and to throw mud like they were doing, and I just did what was best for me. So yeah, like take time to cool your emotions, because when fear is like looming over you and it feels like the walls are coming in, fear is false evidence appearing real, and it can feel so very real that you will not be making the best choices. You would not be making the same kind of choices if you were like, normal situation, everyday life, thinking clearly. Emotions, not a bad thing. Feel what you need to feel. Your emotions are valid, but your perspective may not be real. It may not be true. It may not be reality. Emotions can make it feel very real and like you're justified and like this is the course you should do. But if you can take a step back, if you can breathe, if you can push pause, take a break, time out, you may see things differently. And the universe is saying, hey, take a pause, take a break, make sure it's actually how you want to go. You really want to go down that path. Yeah. Full moon in Capricorn, take a reality check. Take a reality check, because is it really the truth? Is it really the truth? Because sometimes I'm guilty of it too. I'm human. And it's just like I witness it like a daily occurrence with my family. They make themselves the victim because they're getting frustrated by something. It's not going to their preferences. It's not being as easy as they want it to be, or not going according to their timing or whatever. And so then they twist it into the person, the thing, the organization, the place, whatever it is working against them, conspiring against them. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. No. Like, for instance, one of their main things that they're constantly raging about is bikers. A lot of places around here, the streets now have bike lanes. Well, they'll complain about how the bikers are trying to thwart them and make them late and all these things. Because sometimes there'll be those groups of bikers who just, take up a stretch of the road. No, they shouldn't do that, but they're not doing it to conspire against you. They're not doing it to irritate you. And like, they just rage and rage and rage. And it'll be something that, maybe happened a week or two or a month ago or whatever, and they'll bring it back up again. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Reality check. One, is that true? Your feelings are valid. You're allowed to be frustrated. You're allowed to be irritated and upset and just be like, that's not right. Like, you're allowed to feel how you feel. But take a reality check. One, is what you're saying actually true? Are they actually conspiring against you? Two, is it even your now moment? Is it even your now moment? Are you dealing with it right now? Because a lot of times, our minds can be our greatest ally or our worst enemy. Like, listen, our minds love the what if game. The what if game. What if this happens? What if that happens? And our imagination, it can go in those downward spirals of negative emotion, like negative narratives, and we can start, thinking worst case scenarios. And it's not bad to be mindful of what could happen, but when we're letting it consume us and dictate our lives, and it controls how we move in this world, like, it's not the best energy to be in, because like we can just assume like, oh, these people, they hate me, they're going to make fun of me, I shouldn't speak up. And like, we just end up playing smaller and smaller and smaller. We don't take chances that we should. We don't take up opportunities because it seems too big, too scary, whatever. And it's like, take a reality check. Is that real? Is that really going to happen? Do you have to deal with it now? Because sometimes we're getting up into our head too much about the future. Not that it's bad to have a plan or have goals or, to be mindful of the future, but you're here in the now. You're not living in the past. You're not living in the future. You're living in the now. So it's like, yeah, you may need to, figure out more finances or whatever. It's like, but is that something you need to worry about now? Do you have enough for now? Are you good for now? Are you safe right now? Are you taken care of? Do you have a roof over your head? Like, have a reality check. Take inventory. Not that you should just, bury your head in the sand, sidestep things, sweep things on the wrong, and pretend like everything's great, good vibes only. No, that's not what I'm saying. But be real. Be honest. Is the emotions and the thoughts and the narratives, is all of that really true? Is it really, really true? Because once you take stock of the situation and have that reality check, then you can better proceed. But our emotions can trip us up and convince us of all these things that aren't actually true. And that's why the universe is wanting us to cool our emotions and take that reality check. Yeah. First quarter moon in Sagittarius, believe in your good luck. Yeah. The universe is working in your favor. It's not conspiring against you like my family likes to believe. I'll go on and on and on about how everything always goes wrong, nothing ever goes right. But it's like, listen. The universe is conspiring in your favor. It is working anything and everything to your benefit. Even those who are trying to, thwart you, sabotage you, destroy you, all of that, like, the universe can turn that around into your favor. Like with that drama and hot mess that was the toxic group and the narcissist, they tried to break me. They really tried to break me. They tried to get me to doubt myself, to think that I wasn't worth anything, to think that I was actually crazy and I didn't know what was what. I didn't know reality. They were master manipulators. They were extremely toxic. And so it's just like, no. Like, that was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. But the universe, in all of its mysterious, magical ways, used that for my benefit. It made me stronger. It had me learn more about the world and the different types of people in it. Like, I had gone into that little research rabbit hole about narcissism, and I now know a lot more of the signs, and I can look back and be like, there were signs and flags. I just didn't know about them. And me being, my kind, compassionate, understanding self was just like, oh, they're human, bad days, this, that, and the other. And just like, give grace, be willing to give chances and forgive. But like, when people show you their true colors, believe them. Don't make excuses, don't justify it, because yes, I genuinely believe that anyone and everyone can change, but that doesn't mean that they're willing to. It's a choice. They have to be open to it. And sometimes people just will not appreciate you or value you, and you got to be able to use your discernment and know when you got to walk away. So as horrible as that was, in the end, it did work into my favor because I'm stronger and I have better discernment now and I can see things better because, me being me, it's just like, oh yeah, even though I know that not everyone, handles the world the way I do and, has the same kind of views and how to treat people, but I'm just like, oh yeah, treat other people the way you want to be treated. That's how people do it. It's like, even though I knew deep down that not everyone that goes by that golden rule and all that, like, I was projecting how I am in this world onto other people. And that can get you into some trouble too. But the universe wants you to know that you are fortunate. You are blessed. It will work magic and miracles on your behalf. And with, like, those types of people, like that toxic group and all that, if you stay in those situations, if you have those type of people fill up those spots in your life, let's say you have a metaphorical table that has, time, energy, and space for, I don't know, 8 people, like, not literally, but just as this metaphor example, and you have all these toxic, potentially even narcissistic people at the table, well, there's no room for the healthy relationships to come in. All the spots are filled. So the universe will be like, okay, listen, you may not understand it, you may not agree with it, you may try to fight, but I'm going to remove these people for your highest good, for your good fortune, so you can have space to let in these healthy people, the people who are going to appreciate, the people who are going to value and love you and support you and just love you for being who you are, not trying to change you like those other people may have. But that goes for anything. Jobs, homes, whatever. And so the universe wants you to believe in your good luck. It doesn't want you to go down those negative narratives and buy into the fear of false evidence appearing real. It wants you to believe that you are worthy, that you're inherently deserving, that you are fortunate, that you're blessed. Expect good things. Not from an egotistical, narcissistic energy of like, I'm better than other people, so of course I get good things. Like, no. Just because you're the Divine's beloved child. It wants good things for you. It wants good things for you. Even if you can't see it right now, it does. Yeah. Full moon in Aquarius, trust the universe. And that can be a big ask when we're feeling like the walls are caving in and there's the fear of the false evidence appearing real, and it can be really hard to trust and keep hope and faith alive and be like, what the heck, don't you see the reality around me? Like, look at it. But the thing is, the universe can work magic and miracles, not magicals, but that'd be a word, wouldn't it? But it can make magic and miracles on your behalf. But it's only if you trust, it's only if you believe, it's only if you expect and allow yourself to receive. If you're closed off, if you're too controlling, trying to force your own things and not believing and not being open and not trusting, like, how is it going to get in? How is it going to get in? The universe wants you to trust. It wants you to take a leap of faith when you're having, inspired, aligned decisions. Not taking that leap of faith from a place of fear and it's like, I'll just trust. Like, cool your emotions, process them. Don't be coming from those negative energies, because that will kind of interfere and mess up the things that you're manifesting, because the energy you put out into the world comes back to you. So if you're putting out all this negative energy, all this fear, all this doubt, like, that's the seeds you're planting, that's what you're going to reap. And it sucks, but our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs, the words we speak, the narratives we tell ourselves, whether mentally or, vocally or in written word, like, it creates our reality. So the universe wants us to trust and know that good things are coming. Believe in our good luck. Have that reality check. Is it really as bad as we think it is? And sometimes it can be really bad. Like, I kid you not, it was bad with that group. And I didn't even know how bad it had gotten until I got out. And I'm super grateful that I got out. I do feel some sadness, because it's like, I know the potential and what could have been, but people are at where they're at and they make their choices, and that's not what they're interested in. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, the universe really wants you to trust. It wants you to know it's safe to let go. You're surrounded by love. The universe adores you. It wants the best for you. And it wants to work magic and miracles on your behalf. It wants to give you all these blessings. It wants you to be surrounded by love and peace and happiness and fun, that to allow you to thrive, to not play small and to, curl up and try not to take space. Like, that's one thing I was talking with one of my friends about recently, is that, like, certain people, like my family, they condition you to, quote unquote, keep the peace by keeping quiet, staying out of the way, trying to take up the least amount of space possible, curling in on yourself and be like, I'm not here, I'm invisible, I'm not doing anything, I just want peace. And it's just like, that's not healthy for you. And so the universe is letting you know, like, you don't have to buy into those realities. You don't have to have that be your life. You can let it go. You're surrounded by love. The universe will work things out for you. But you gotta trust. You gotta trust. Yeah, let it out. Let it flow. Open up the heart to feel. And that's a big thing. The universe wants you to feel, to process, to not, push things aside, sidestep, sweep it under the rug, try to bury it, act like it's not there, bottle it up. Like, it's not healthy. I did that a lot as a child. And it would technically, quote unquote, work for a while. The things would build up, the pressure inside would build up until the point where it could not be contained anymore. And if I had addressed it when it was smaller, more in the moment of when it came up, it wouldn't be big explosions. But it also wasn't safe to really show emotions with my family, because they're always going on about how I ruin things and I'm too much and I'm too sensitive and I'm just being overly dramatic, and I don't really mean that. Like, I'm being crazy and this, that, and the other. Gaslighting, scapegoating, all of that, and validating. But The universe wants you to let your emotions flow, to let the thoughts flow, to not, attach onto them and like hold it on with this rigid grasp, refusing to let go, obsessing and fixating over things. Like, no, trust, allow, breathe, process, flow. Open up your heart, let the love in, and let it flow. It's okay. Like, in terms of, like, let's say money, a lot of us, we have a lot of insecurity and worry and stress and fear around money, and we don't think there's enough. We get all tripped up by these narratives of lack and scarcity, and like we're not good enough. And it's like, know that money is a form of energy. It will come and it will go. You can give and you can receive. It is ebb and flow of life. Yes, money will flow out of you, but it will come back to you. So trust that. Let it flow. Let it flow. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, you are worthy. You are worthy. That's what the universe wants you to know. You don't have to do anything special. You don't have to effort it hard enough to be deserving. You are inherently deserving. You are inherently worthy just by being you. Aim for what you want and believe in yourself, yeah. Because when you start limiting yourself, when you start buying into those negative narratives, those limiting beliefs, you can start unconsciously or consciously self-sabotaging yourself and, not taking the chances and opportunities that the universe gives you, and be like, hey, good things are on the other side of this, but you're like, oh, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not fast enough, I don't have the right skills, this and the other, and you just don't believe in your worth. But the universe wants you to have more confidence, more trust, and just know without a shadow of a doubt that you are worthy. It wants good things for you. It wants you to trust it. It wants you to believe in your good luck. And to recognize, like, yeah, you're human. So that means you're a work in process that, has flaws and areas of weakness and areas for growth and all that. But you're also the masterpiece. You also have strengths and gifts and talents and insights and experiences and wisdom, like all these things that you can give. And so the universe wants you to know you're worthy and that you don't need to do anything to earn it. Just be authentic and get into that inspired alignment and then take actions, and it's going to open up all these doors for you. It's safe to let go of the old that no longer works, Yeah, so these cards very much go together. Things are not as they appear, don't be misled. And that's about, the fear, the false evidence appearing real, the doubt, the insecurity, the believing that you're not good enough, lacking, self-confidence, believing that, lack. There'll never be enough. The universe is abundant. The universe wants to bless you. The universe is full of love. And so even though, it may appear like you're not good enough or things aren't working out for you, the universe could be very much working behind the scenes to work all this out in your favor, to work magic and miracles, to bless you with more blessings that you could ever imagine. But it could be like the seed. When you plant the seed, you don't see its initial growth. For a while, you just look at it and it's like nothing's happening at all, but so much is happening beneath the surface, behind the scenes. So the universe wants you to know things are not as they appear. Do not be misled. Do not, get so wrapped up in your emotions that you can't see clearly. That letting those negative emotions lead you astray. Because that's not the truth of the matter. That's why the universe wants you to do that reality check. And it can be easier said than done since we're human. We all have our rough days, our bad days where we can get so caught up in our emotions, and like, it's okay, you're human, be gentle with yourself. But know that you don't have to stay in that emotion, stay in that energy. You don't have to subscribe to those negative narratives and limiting beliefs. Yeah. Do something new, something different. And for a lot of us, this could be to trust, to let go, to believe in our good luck, to take that leap of faith, to know that we're inherently worthy, and to confidently confidently believe and trust and have faith that things are going to work out for us. Even if it doesn't look like it today, even if we're in the midst of a storm and it's raging outside and there's turbulent winds and like the winds are howling and like there's a downpour, like that happened to me the other day. Just got drenched with my aunt's dog, but it's okay because the storm will pass and the sun will shine again and you'll even have the opportunity to see the rainbow. But if you're getting so caught up in these negative narratives and these limiting beliefs and, it's like Uncle Iroh says, if you look for the dark, or if you look for the light, you can often find it, but if you look for the dark, that's all you ever see. It's like my family. They're getting so caught up in their emotions, the negative narratives, and limiting beliefs and all of that they can't see the good things that are happening for them. Like the thing with my mom's printer at work, like literally, she keeps experiencing the same problems because that's what she's putting her energy in. She's not doing something new. She's not trusting. She's not finding gratitude. She's not, recognizing how the co-owner had dissected her printer and reassembled it for her and fixed it for her. She's still fixing on, oh, it broke, and I was so frustrated. It's like, yeah, you're allowed to be human and be frustrated, but like, why do you keep going back to that? Because you're putting that energy out, you're planting those seeds, and so you're harvesting that experience again. It keeps having issues. And yeah, maybe you need to do something new and get a new printer, or, like have someone else look at whatever, but it's like, why do you keep going down the same cycles? It's that saying, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, and it's expecting different results. And so that's why the universe is wanting you to take up that opportunity it's gifting you, to open the door when opportunity in the universe comes knocking, to take that leap of faith, to trust and do something different, because that's the only way the news is going to be able to come in. It's the only way. We have Hummingbird. Release what you've been carrying and lighten up. New joys on the way. Yeah. Lighten up. Release. Let go. You don't have to keep carrying all this emotional baggage with you. You don't have to keep carrying and subscribing to the fear, the doubt, the insecurity, the lack, the stress. Allow yourself to be human. Feel what you need to feel, but you don't need to cling on to it. You don't need to obsess and fixate over it and allow it to fester. You don't need to do that. Because the universe has so much in store for you. It has brighter days ahead of you. It has love and peace and happiness and fun and prosperity and blessings and good luck for you. But you got to be open and let it in. You got to free up the space. That's why the universe wants you to release. That's why the universe wants you to lighten up. Peacock. Inherent wisdom is emerging at this time. Watch it and ready yourself for a rebirth. Yeah, this very much feels like you're having a rebirth. I feel sort of like my whole thing with that toxic group and how I was rebirthed after it. Like, it took me some time. I had to process my emotions. I had to feel all those intense emotions. It was rough. It was very turbulent, but I emerged better from it in the end. Was it fun to go through? No. I'll be honest with you guys, no. But was it worth it in the end? Yeah. Just part of me kind of wished that I didn't have to. Yeah, but that's the thing. Some of the best development and growth and understanding and experience come from the hard times. It's sort of like fertilizer for the soul, Doesn't mean you want to constantly be doing that, but it does help you level up. So yeah, you guys are going to be rebirthed. You're going to have so much going for you. It's going to work out beautifully for you. It really is. So we have evolution. You're evolving spiritually and emotionally, moving towards greater wisdom and understanding. Yeah, because you're cooling your emotions, you're taking that reality check, you're trusting, you're knowing you're worthy, you're believing in good luck, you're letting things flow instead of becoming stifled and stagnant inside of you. Emotions are energy and motion. They're supposed to flow through you. They're supposed to be, allowed to move through the body. But when we cling on to them, when we try to bottle them up and sidestep them and sweep them on the rug and, pretend like they're not there, they're not able to flow. They get stuck in the body. So this is why you're evolving. You are doing things so differently than, society in general, but how you used to. Because I know I've been going through that. And it can be a doozy of a ride, trust me. But in the end, it's worth it. Yeah, it provides so much growth. You are experiencing growth and expansion in all areas of your life. You're on the right path and moving towards greater fulfillment and success. Yeah, this is what the universe wants you to trust. While it wants you to let things flow. Why it wants you to do things differently. Why it wants you to believe in good luck. To know that you're worthy. Because you're on the right path. You are making progress. Even if it doesn't seem like it on the outside world, all the development and growth and learning and processing that you've been doing on the internal, it's going to be reflected in the external. Maybe not immediately, because it can take a while for the physical to catch up, with the internal, the emotional, the spiritual, all of that. But you're on the right path. All these seeds are being planted, and you're watering them and nurturing them all the time with your conscious efforts, and you're going to reap a bountiful harvest because of it. So, don't get caught up in how things appear on the outside, because eventually it's going to mirror your inside, your internal. Don't get so caught up on the external and, appeasing other people's expectations and all that. Like, do what's in resonance with you. Do what you need to fill up your own cup. Yeah, reflection. We need to make more time for reflection and mindfulness and, pausing, allowing ourselves to process, to mull things over, to contemplate, to come from a more clear-headed, level-headed place where we can, put our best foot forward, because we're not rushing into things or, blindly reacting things. We're actually choosing to make a conscious effort to respond rather than to blindly react. Look inward and evaluate your actions. Embrace introspection and self-reflection for your own development. And honestly, that feels like something that's very much missing in modern society. It's pretty sad, because I see it with my family, I've seen it with fake friends, I've seen it with toxic bosses and coworkers, I've seen it with my exes, I've seen it in that toxic group with the narcissists. Like, they are too busy pointing fingers to everybody else, and they're not looking at themselves. That's not to say that other people don't do wrong. That's not to say that other people are doing everything right, and that they, haven't wronged people or hurt people, this and the other. But they're not looking at how their own choices, their own actions or inactions, what they're choosing not to do, are contributing to the situation. If you're not trusting everyone and you're putting out all this nasty energy and you're lashing out at people and, projecting onto them and, coming from a really insecure, fearful, place, that's going to impact how you show up in the world and whether you can have those meaningful, relationships and connections, which is why it's really important to be reflective. It's not always fun, because you can, see things about yourself that you're not exactly happy about, but we're all human. But in the end, when we do all this, it leads us to prosperity. It allows for the universe to bless us and to, flood us with magic and miracles. Embrace your potential and welcome prosperity. You are making wise decisions and heading in the right direction. That's the thing. The universe wants to know you are very much heading in the right direction. Very much. Even if, you're not seeing all the signs externally, no. Trust the universe to work everything out in your favor. The universe has your back. It's going to work out for you. But you got to trust. You got to believe. You got to have faith. You got to be making those aligned, inspired actions and not, blindly reacting out of fear or lack or insecurity, because that's going to trip you up. It really is. Okay, so we have fearlessness. Turn your warrior into a warrior. Yeah, the universe doesn't want you to buy into false evidence appearing real anymore. It wants you to start taking that leap of faith to find your courage to live more fearlessly. Not that you're not allowed to fear, but You're choosing to act in spite of the fear. Be like, you know what? No, this is what I actually want. This resonates with me. This is in alignment with my path and my calling, and it feels so right. And maybe bad things will happen, but I'll deal with it when it happens. I don't have to spend all this time worrying about it and, wasting my time, energy, and attention because it's not here. It's not the reality of my right now. I'll deal with things as they come up. I don't have to be worrying about everything, and I don't have to let fear hold me back, It can be easier said than done, but yeah, calmness. To calm your monkey mind, do not feed the animal. Yeah, and it just very much makes me think about the story, the Native American story of the Tale of the Two Wolves. And, the one wolf was love and kindness and peace and joy and prosperity and all these positive things. And the other one was fear, hatred, division, bitterness, jealousy, anger, all of these negative things. And the grandfather told his grandson, the one that wins is the one you feed. So if you don't want the metaphorical wolf of fear, doubt, insecurity, unease, lack, all of that to win, don't feed it. I mean, you're human, so you might end up accidentally feeding it some, but what you focus on will grow. So don't keep obsessing over it and fixating over it and continually giving more and more to it, because it's going to grow and it's going to be the one dominating your life. So you can choose to come from a place of calmness. And yeah, when you come from fearlessness and calmness, you're going to be able to shine. You are made of stardust, so keep sparkling. You are inherently worthy. You are inherently worthy. Believe in your good luck. Release and lighten up. Trust the universe, because prosperity is coming. But you have to allow yourself to shine as you truly are, to let your true colors shine brightly. Be authentic and genuine and real. Because you're never going to truly shine, not truly, if you're pretending to be someone else, if you're conforming, if you're holding yourself back, playing small, settling for less, selling yourself out. You don't need to conform to other people. You don't need to appease other people. You can just be who you truly are, because you're inherently worthy. You're inherently worthy. So we have goldfish, increase in material wealth or spiritual growth, and it feels like both for you. And because, you're tending to your internal world, it's going to manifest in the external world as prosperity, as abundance, and that well-being, and that comes in all shapes and sizes, like, those deep, meaningful connections and relationships, your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, it in terms of money, prosperity in the sense of peace, happiness, love, like in all sorts of ways. And it's because you're growing. So get excited, because good things are coming for you. Yeah, Pale, time to get out of a situation, and that feels like the situation like subscribing to fear or any relationships, situations, work environments, whatever, that do not align with you, that are, causing these negative emotions to fester and cause you to obsess over. Because I noticed after I got out of that situation with the toxic group and all that I was able to think more clearly, and I was happier and lighter. Their negative energy, their obsessions, their nastiness and manipulations and deceit and all that, it caused me to doubt myself, and it created all this unhappiness and unease, and like it's just a thing. I had to get out, and that's what the universe is saying for you too. You may need to leave certain situations. That's why the universe is saying it's safe to let go, to let it out, to let it flow, that you're worthy. Like, you don't need to keep doing the same things over and over again. You don't need to be doing that to yourself. You don't need to be harming yourself and holding yourself back. You can get in alignment and do what's best for you. Boot. Increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. And this feels like more like aligned, inspired actions. Taking that leap of faith and doing what you actually want, pursuing your goals, your passions, rather than, quote unquote, playing it safe, staying in your comfort zone, buying into fear, insecurity, lack, and all that. You're just like, no, I'm going to chase after my dreams. I'm going to listen for the guidance of the universe, do what resonates, get into alignment, and do those inspired, aligned actions, and it's going to help you go so far. You're going to trust the universe more, believing in your good luck. Okay, egg. Success assured with good plans and hard work. And that's like, it very much feels like you are going to be so successful. This is why, you're having the evolution, the growth, and the prosperity. And you're lightening up and new doors coming in, new abundance, like all of it. Your change in mindset, how you're perceiving things, how you're handling things is going to bring in so much good luck, so much success. It's going to work out really well for you. Yeah, the universe really wants you to know that you're going to be successful. You're literally being handed the keys to success. Successful outcomes to your problems. Yeah, that's why the universe wants you to trust. That's why the universe wants you to believe in your good luck. That's why the universe wants you to cool your emotions and remember you're worthy. To lighten up, to let go. Because in the end, it's going to work out for you beautifully. Beautifully. Okay. Yeah, the universe really wants to know you're going to be successful and you're going to shine bright. It really does. It really does. So yeah, don't buy into fear. Don't buy into the worry. Don't buy into the doubt and the lack and all that. Yeah, feel what you need to feel. Don't deny it. Don't bury it. Don't sidestep it or bottle it up or sweep it on the rug. Nothing like that. Allow yourself to be human. Be gentle with yourself. Feel what you need to feel. But no, you don't have to subscribe to it. Just because it seems like it's real, like it's reality, doesn't necessarily mean it is. Doesn't necessarily mean it is. And my aunt loves to say, your feelings are valid, but that doesn't mean your perspective is true. Fear is false evidence appearing real. So just keep that in mind, because in the end, you're going to be so successful. You really, really are. You're going to shine bright like a star. And I'm super excited for you guys. So I'm hoping you all remember to breathe, to take time to pause when you need to reflect, to process, grieve if you have to. You're allowed to be sad and disappointed when you let things go, but when you do, it makes room for the new. It's like the trees, in the fall they lose all their leaves, in winter they're barren, but that's just to make room for all the new growth and the new leaves and new blossoms in springtime. So know that just when you let things go, doesn't mean it's always going to be empty. It's making room for the new. I'm wishing you all a wonderful rest of your day. Please take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye!